안녕하세요 여러분, 제 이름은 디바예요. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Diva and today we are going to continue on with our Korean lesson. I hope you all are treating yourselves kindly. I know this can be a lot for beginners. Today we're going to pick up with where we left off, and that is continuing on with your Hangul journey, and that will be talking about consonants today. This is going to be for base consonants only. Just so you know, there are other things such as strong consonants or double consonants, but we're not going to worry about those today. Those are for the next video, but we will cover base consonants today, so at least you have an understanding of how they work and what they sound like. Now, there are a few differences between consonants and vowels, obviously, but I will explain those and give you tips along the way, so I hope you enjoy. So now we're going to be learning about the consonants in Korean. These are just base consonants. We're not going to worry about double or strong consonants in this video. There's going to be a lot of tips in this video since pronunciation plays a key part with consonants. It might be a bit hard to distinguish the difference in some of the sounds or even how to make these sounds at first, but always remember, give yourself some grace. You're still new to this and you're still a beginner. Before we begin to learn what these consonants are, I'd like to show you a comparison and explain something that is different with these consonants. Let's take a look at our consonants and vowels side by side. Again, this list will not include double or strong consonants. By looking at them, can you tell they're different? For me, trying to remember what a consonant was and what a vowel was a big hurdle as a beginner. Of course, over time and with practice, I overcame that, but here's my first tip. Korean vowels are simply just horizontal or vertical lines. That's it. Korean consonants actually look like characters of a foreign language. Now, looking back at the groups, do you see what I'm saying? Lines versus actual characters. Next, these characters do actually have names, unlike the vowels. Is it absolutely essential to remember their names right away? No, absolutely not. But it will help you in the future. By learning their names, you may also be able to conquer what sound they make faster. Let's learn our consonants. The first consonant we're going to learn is called kiok. Kiok. This consonant is drawn in one stroke, starting from left to right in a horizontal line and coming down on the right-hand side. Much of the consonants we're going to learn today are made up of two sounds. How's that possible? Actually, a lot of words and letters in English have this capability, but we don't give it too much thought because, well, we don't have to. The two sounds that make up kiok are G and K. The sound is not a full G sound like in the word girl, and it's not a full K sound like in the word kite. It's somewhere in the middle. The best example I have of this would be in the name Jack. The CK at the end. If you're not over enunciating, it kind of mimics the sound we're looking for. So if you say Jack, that's not how we say it. So try not to put so much emphasis on the word and just listen. Jack, Jack. Can you hear how it's kind of a G and a K sound at the end? That's what we're looking for. Listen to the name again and focus on the ending sound. Jack, Jack. Next is Nian. Nian. This is drawn similarly to kiok. I actually used to confuse these a lot as a beginner because they look so similar. It's drawn starting from the left side, top to bottom, and then going out towards the right. This is also drawn in one stroke. This character is only made up of one sound, N. N as in nose. Moving on, we have digut. Digut. If you could tell by the name, this character also has two sounds. Digut is made up of two strokes. The first going across the top from left to right, and then the next stroke starting from the left, going down and out the right, all in one motion. The two sounds that make up this character are D and T. Not really a D sound and not really a T sound. A good word I like to use for this example is dot. Again, don't over enunciate. not dot t, but dot. If you say dot, you can hear the T at the end isn't really forced, and you can't say for sure whether the sound is a D or a T. That's what we need, something in the middle. Our next character can be a bit complicated, and I think it's every beginner's worst enemy. This is real. Real. Drawn in 3 strokes. You're first going to start from the top, left to right, then go down on the right-hand side like you're making a kiok. Your second stroke will be starting from the left and connecting the 2 lines. Lastly, from the left, again, your line will go down and out to the right. It should look like a kiok and a digit if you drew it right. As you progress, you'll find easier ways to write this character as well. This character also has 2 sounds. Real is made up of an R and an L sound. I don't want to confuse you, so I'll make a separate video on this, but there's 3 possibilities with this character. 1, a true L sound. 2, a rolling R sound. 3, a weird L sound. There are certain factors which dictate which sound you're going to make. For example, here are 3 Korean words that use the 3 possible sounds I just told you. First, nola. Nola. You can hear the true L sound coming out. 2, ara. Ara. You can hear the rolling sound. And 3, saguader. Saguader. And you can hear the weird der sound at the end. This might seem really confusing now, but we'll work on it together in another video. Because there are no words I can associate with this one without making it more confusing, I'd like you to just practice the pronunciation of its Korean name, Real. You're going to roll your R at the beginning. Real. Real. Luckily, this next one is a bit easier. This is mium. Mium. This character is also drawn in 3 strokes. First, starting on the left side, going down. Then, on the top, going left to right and make a line going down all in 1 stroke. The last line is drawn from the bottom of the left side, connecting the lines to make a square shape. This is made up of 1 sound, M, like in mom. Mium. Following that, we have piup. Unfortunately, this is made up of 2 sounds. This one has 4 strokes. 1, left side, top to bottom. 2, right side, top to bottom. 3, connecting the 2 halfway down from left to right. And 4, the bottom connecting them again, left to right. This is piup, made from B and P. If you loosely say bop, again, don't overpronounce, not bop, but bop. Don't overpronounce. Then you'll hear that you can't really distinguish the B and the P. That's what we're looking for, the sweet spot between the 2. Then we have shiat. No, I didn't cuss at you. This is shiat. 2 strokes make up this character. 1 line starting from the top and slanting out to the left. Then another starting back at the top on the right side, slanting out to the right. This character is only made up of 1 sound, and that is S. S as in snake. The easiest character to draw and say might trip you up sometimes. This is drawn starting from the top, making a circle counterclockwise. This is iung. This is only made up of 1 sound. But why do I have a silent and an NG? Well, this character has 2 uses. At the beginning of a word or a syllable, this is just a placeholder. There is no sound. It's completely silent. At the end of a word or a syllable, this has an NG sound, like in the word running, that ng sound. Do you remember the first vowels video when I said I was going to draw a circle with the vowels, but not to worry because it was silent? And then I totally lied because I ended up not doing it. This is the character I would have used. Diva tip. We'll learn this later on, but it's good to know now too. Vowels and consonants, other than learning the alphabet, can never be written alone. One must always have the other. In order to write a vowel by itself, it needs a consonant. Ing is the consonant we use as a placeholder if there is no other consonant to take its place. This will have no sound. All of the sound comes from the vowel. I'd like to give you an example of this to show you exactly what I mean. For example, the word 고양이. 고양이. You can see here, even if you can't read it yet, there are two ings in the second syllable and one in the third syllable. The first one is a placeholder. There is no sound. At the bottom of the second syllable, it makes the NG sound. Well, then what happens here in the third syllable? If I said at the beginning there's no sound, does the word stop? No. The sound from this one carries over into the next syllable, finishing up the word. It's all very confusing now, but I promise someday it will make sense. Moving on and nearing the end, we have 지읒. This has two strokes. For the first stroke, starting from the left side and going to the right, then you have to curve down almost like you're making a really sharp 7. For the second stroke, halfway towards the bottom, you're going to give it a kickstand and have it go out towards the right. Please note that this one might look different depending on handwriting versus text. Handwriting looks like this, but text might show you this character. They are both the same letter. This is made up of J and CH. Think of the word church. Again, without overpronouncing, the CH at the end could sound like a mix of CH and J. Church. Lastly, we have hiët. Hiët. This has 3 strokes. The first line will be a small dash on top from left to right. The second will be just underneath of that, going left to right, but a bit longer. Your third line will be a circle in counterclockwise motion. A lot of people get this confused with ing when looking at the words. Make sure you know what you're looking at is hiët or ing. How can you tell? Look for any additional lines above the circle, and that will tell you which character it is. Are you still confused? Let's look at 좋다 and 양말. Do you see how in the first example for 좋다, there are a lot of additional lines above the circle? And in the second one, there's clearly just a circle. Back to hiët. This one is made up of one sound, and that is H. In addition to this, much like 지읒, there is a difference in handwriting versus text. Again, it's exactly the same letter and word. However you write this or 지읒 does not matter, whatever works best for you. That's it for the consonants. Let's take a quiz.